The average car battery in 2010 lasted 4.7 years before it needed replacing. The average car battery today lasts 2.8 years. Same battery chemistry. Same lead-acid design that's been around since the 1850s. The battery didn't get worse. The car around it changed completely. And nobody told you that when you bought it. Your modern car is draining its own battery in ways that didn't exist a decade ago. And the reason most drivers don't realize it until they're stranded in a parking lot is that every single system responsible for this drain was marketed to you as a feature. This is what's actually happening under your hood and what you can do about it before your next $280 battery swap. Parasitic draw has tripled. Most drivers think a car battery only works when the engine is running or the headlights are on. That hasn't been true for years. Every modern vehicle has what's called parasitic draw, the electrical load your car pulls from the battery while it's parked and off. In 2012, the average parasitic draw on a midsize sedan was around 25 milliamps. Today, that same class of vehicle, a 2023 Toyota Camry, a 2024 Honda Accord, a 2024 Hyundai Sonata, pulls between 50 and 85 milliamps while parked. Some SUVs with premium tech packages exceed 100 milliamps. That's 3 to 4 times more electricity being sucked from your battery every single hour your car sits in the driveway. A standard 60 amp-hour battery at 85 milliamps of draw will drain to the point of difficult starting in roughly 14 days of sitting. If your battery is 2 years old and already at 80% health, that window shrinks to 9 days. Park your car at the airport for a 2-week vacation and there's a real chance it won't start when you get back. But here's where it gets more expensive. Always. On modules are the real killer. That parasitic draw isn't coming from one place. Modern cars have between 30 and 50 electronic control modules, small computers embedded throughout the vehicle. Your 2015 Ford F-150 had around 28 modules. The 2024 model has 47. Each one manages something: your lane departure system, your key fob receiver, your tire pressure monitoring, your infotainment memory, your seat position recall, your security system. When you turn off the car, most of these modules don't fully shut down. They enter a low-power sleep mode, and each one sips a tiny amount of current. Individually, each module might draw 2 to 5 milliamps. Multiply that by 40 modules, and you've got a constant background load that never stops. Your car in 2010 had maybe 12 of these. It slept quietly. Your car today sleeps like a teenager with every device charging on the nightstand. And this next one is something almost every car owner does without realizing it. Short trips are now a battery death sentence. Your alternator recharges your battery while you drive. That hasn't changed. What has changed is how much charge your car uses during startup and the first few minutes of driving. A modern car with a stop-start system, electric power steering, heated seats, a touchscreen display, and active safety sensors can pull 150 to 200 amps in the first 90 seconds after starting. On a 2014 vehicle with fewer electronics, that number was closer to 80 to 100 amps. Here's the math that matters. Your alternator needs approximately 20 to 30 minutes of continuous, highway speed driving to fully replace what a single cold start takes from the battery. If your daily routine is a 7-minute drive to the office and a 7-minute drive home, your battery never gets fully recharged. It operates in a constant state of partial discharge, which accelerates sulfation, the chemical buildup on the lead plates inside the battery that permanently reduces capacity. Do that 5 days a week for 8 months, and your 2-year-old battery now performs like a 4-year-old battery. This is the single biggest reason ORA reports that battery-related roadside calls have increased 28% since 2018. Now, this one is going to contradict what most mechanics tell you. Stop-start systems are shaving. Years off. Standard batteries. Auto stop-start, the system that shuts off your engine at red lights to save fuel, is now standard on roughly 72% of new cars sold in the US. GM, Ford, BMW, Hyundai, and Toyota all include it across most of their lineups. The engineering problem is obvious once you think about it. Every time that engine restarts at a green light, that's a full current startup event hitting your battery. In normal city driving, That can mean 15 to 30 additional engine restarts per day. A traditional flooded lead-acid battery is rated for somewhere around 30,000 shallow discharge cycles. An AGM battery, the type that stop-start systems actually require, is rated for 60,000 to 80,000 cycles. Here's what dealers don't tell you. Many vehicles with stop-start systems, especially base trims of the Chevy Equinox, Ford Escape, and Hyundai Tucson, ship from the factory with a standard flooded battery rather than an AGM. That battery is being hammered with 3 to 5 times the daily restart cycles it was designed for. When it dies at 22 months, you go to the dealer and they sell you the same type of battery again for $220 to $280 installed. The correct replacement, a Group 48 or Group 49 AGM battery, costs $240 to $340, but lasts nearly 3 times as long in that application. You end up spending more money replacing the wrong battery twice than you would have spent buying the right battery once. If you've owned your car for more than 2 years, this one is almost certainly relevant to you right now. Software updates are running your battery down while you sleep. This is the one that barely anyone is tracking yet. Over-the-air software updates, the kind Tesla pioneered and every major manufacturer now uses, often download and install while your car is parked. A 2024 Ford Mustang Mach-E, Rivian R1S or BMW iX can pull 8 to 12 amps during an OTA update cycle that lasts 30 to 90 minutes. That's not milliamps, that's full amps from your 12-volt accessory battery while the car is sitting in your garage. GM's Ultifi platform, Stellantis's STLA, Smart Cockpit, and Ford's Blue Cruise system all push updates at intervals the driver doesn't control. If your car downloads an update at 2 a.m. on a cold Tuesday night in Minnesota, your 12-volt battery just took a significant hit. Stack that on top of the regular Parasitic draw from 40-plus modules and a battery that's already running at 75% health, and you wake up to a car that clicks instead of starts. This is brand new territory. 5 years ago, this problem didn't exist because cars didn't update themselves overnight. The next one is honestly the one that costs most drivers the most money, and almost nobody talks about it. Battery testing at shops is designed to sell, not diagnose. When you go to AutoZone, O'Reilly, or your dealer for a free battery test, the handheld tester they use measures conductance, how easily current flows through the plates. It gives a simple green, yellow, or red result. What it doesn't measure is reserve capacity under load at temperature, which is the actual predictor of whether your battery will start your car on the worst morning of the year. A conductance tester can show green on a battery with only 61% of its original capacity remaining. That battery will start your car fine in September. It will leave you stranded in January. A proper carbon pile load test or a 15-second discharge test at half the rated CCA gives you a real answer, but it takes longer, requires a more expensive tester, and doesn't help the shop sell you a new battery today. Ask specifically for a load test. If the shop says their handheld tester is just as accurate, find a different shop. The difference between a conductance reading and a real load test is the difference between knowing your battery is okay right now and knowing it will make it through winter. That gap between 4.7 years and 2.8 years isn't a manufacturing problem. It's an engineering mismatch. Modern electrical demands running on battery technology and replacement practices that haven't caught up. Your car is smarter than ever, and it's eating its own battery alive because of it. Here's your one move. Open your hood this weekend, find the battery label, and check whether it's a flooded lead-acid or an AGM. If your car has stop-start and you're looking at a flooded battery, you now know exactly why it keeps dying, and exactly what to replace it with before it leaves you in a parking lot. If this saved you money or kept you from getting sold a battery you didn't need, you know what to do.